you're tuning into Boxing UK. My name is Rak Noble. I'm here with female world champion Tasha Jonas. Natasha, how are you tonight?
I'm good. It was a good night of boxing. All the results went as expected, and yeah, it was a good night.
Just talk us through. So, of course, we had 3 ladies on the card tonight picking up wins. What were your thoughts on those?
Like I said, everyone that was supposed to win won. I was impressed with Shannon. Obviously Lauren, she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders. Lauren, coming out as Olympic champion, there's a lot of added pressure that you need to perform, wanting to get the stoppage, and I think she came out and handled it really well. The opponent was no pushover, was given the best that she had back. But Lauren's speed was always a class above hers, and her shot selection was really, really good. And she's going to take time to develop, and she's got the time to do it, so she's in no rush.
I feel with Lauren, what Sky Boxer have done is they've given her almost the Katie Taylor treatment, where they've made her a superstar from the get-go. They put her as the co-main event. There's notifications on Sky app saying that she's fighting soon. She's got so much press and publication going on around her. She's the next big thing.
Yeah, and she deserves it. The accolades that she's got, like I've mentioned before. And you've just got to, she's in no rush to develop, and you've got to keep that in mind and bear that in mind, because it is amateur boxing. It's still boxing, but it's slightly different, and there's things you have to learn and pick up in each fight to be able to go on and do better.
So of course, let's go on to the main event. Richard Riakporhe, well, blitzed him, to be honest. 2 rounds, body shot, got him out of there. How close do you think he is to a world title?
I think we've seen him be a lot more patient today. I think at points with the Juma fight that he was being, a bit outboxed, and I wanted to see him be a bit patient, box a little bit more than he had shown, because we all know he can punch. But what happens when your punch doesn't land? I didn't need to worry about that tonight, but I wanted to see something different, and he showed that in the first 2 rounds, and then obviously the punch came, and it was from the hand that no one was expecting. Praise goes on him. I think he called it, and I just reiterated it, and it happened.
So we're gonna flip this conversation, because right now we've been talking to Tasha, the analyst. Let's not talk to Tasha, the fighter, because sometimes you're so embedded within the Sky setup, it feels like you are a presenter, but we forget you are a world champion, current world champion. So let's talk. What's next for you? What's hoping on your radar?
I think there's been no secret about me and Hannah want to both fight in Liverpool now that she's agreed. And it's up to Ben and Dennis Hopkins to sort it out and make it happen. I'd love to have add titles. She believes she can win, I believe I can win, and may the best woman win on the day.
So of course, I don't think we've had all-female unification bout in the UK before. Of course, we saw Taylor Serrano, we've got Shields, Marshall coming up. We've had a whole array of women's champions, undisputed, unified. And what a time for this event to take place on Box the Card, just to platform women once again at the highest level. Yeah,
like you said before, boxers are really pushing women's boxing. I think Matchroom probably started it with Katie, but that opened the opportunities and opened the gateway for every promoter to get their fair share of women, and now we're there on top in bills, chief main support, chief co-events, and we're living up to the hype that we've been given. And I don't think there's a fight of the year category now that doesn't have a women's fight in it. So that just comes to prove how far we've come, but also how good women's boxing is at its highest level. Talking of women's boxing at the high level, the argument of 10-2s to 12-3s, what side are you swaying on? Do you think they should keep the 10-2s, or do you think 10-3s is the way forward? To be honest, I'm a boxer, I'll just do as I'm told. You change the rules all the time in amateurs, and you just have to crack on with it, and that's the same way I do. What I do believe is that a lot of people say that they want 3-minute rounds to see more knockouts, but then when you see knockouts like Terry Harper's, like Savannah Marshall's, people are uncomfortable with it. So I think saying it is something else, but the reality of women being knocked out is different, and I don't know if that is the appeal that everyone says that it will be. So in hindsight, you would say keeping it the way it is should be fine, because people aren't handling how the knockouts are right now. So if they were to be any more brutaler, people would probably be even more worried and more uptight about it. To be honest, I don't really care either way. I do 3 minutes now in camps. I only take it down to 2 when I'm got a date and I'm being more specific. But for me, for boxers like me, the extra minute would probably work well. I think even Serrano, she asked for the 3-minute rounds, because you can agree for it to be 3-minute rounds. It just has to be agreed by both boxers and the governing bodies. But for certain boxers, it's just not going to work for them. But for me, I'm not really bothered. I don't really feel any kind of way. I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. If it does, it doesn't. But there's issues to it happening and issues to it not. So.
And lastly, of course, on the topic of female boxing, what advice would you give to young female fighters out there now who, of course, got heaps of more opportunities and a lot more coverage than when you started? What would be the best advice you can give them?
Someone actually asked me this on Instagram today, and I said, work hard, never give up, and most of all, believe in yourself. Don't let anybody, especially any adult, tear down your dreams and think that they're too big for you. If you do them things, anything is possible. And a lot of females, have dedicated their life to this sport and are producing performances and Olympic titles and doing all this, and that's because they had a dream and they stuck with it and they believed in themselves. And the opportunities are there now, and the platforms are there now to be involved in, and take your opportunities when they come, and anything's possible.
I'm sorry, just to bombard you one more question. The fight of you and Hannah Rankin happens. Let's say you are to be victorious. Would the goal then to be undisputed?
I don't think there's a person on the planet now that doesn't like, since everyone wants to be undisputed, I don't think one title just doesn't seem quite enough anymore. But yeah, I'd love to be undisputed. It'd be silly not to. I think both champions all the champions are very beatable, and there's also options for me to even go down in weight, because obviously this 154 is not my natural weight. So yeah, all the options are open.
All the options available. Thank you for your time, Natasha. Of course, we'll look forward to seeing the fight between you and Hannah Rankin in Liverpool. Big domestic female fight in just another big milestone for women's boxing. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Cheers. Thank you.